Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the JR Wisdom channel. Long time no see. I hope you guys can hear me. I'm jumping on here. I came across this song. Many of y'all probably already heard it by this artist. It's real catchy. So I was just listening to it, listening to the lyrics, watching the video, things like that. And I thought it was very interesting. And you see stuff like this. You see videos like this, the whole marriage thing, the guy showing up, just like in movies and coming to stop the wedding and preventing her from moving forward. And just listen to the lyrics. Like I said, it's a very catchy song. I'll have the link in the description on the restream for those of you guys who haven't seen it, so you guys can check it out. I wouldn't say it's really deep in terms of how the video is set up, but I think there is some symbolism in the video and to kind of break some things down for people who interpret it a certain way. I think it's some ambiguity and dual meaning to it. So we talk about this whole toxicity thing and being toxic in relationships and stuff like that, and the guy always wanting to, and men and women, the guy always trying to get with a woman once she's in a relationship, or as soon as he finds out she's getting married, he wants to all of a sudden confess his love and feelings. And or when he's getting married, kind of like the same thing where he's like, I always, this could have been you. I see women talk about that on social media and things like that, and I think it's funny that people do that, but I think it doesn't take a wedding for that to happen. I think it's happening all along where people are confessing their feelings. So, to give you a little breakdown of the video before you watch it, my take on it, and the reason why I decided to do this whole video about it is, this guy, he's scrolling through Instagram, and either he's following or he looked up his ex and saw that she's getting ready to get married. So he skates over to the church. I guess he knows what church she's at. Maybe there's only one church in town. So he skates over to the church to kind of stop this from going down or whatever. And he's singing along, basically telling her, you're mine still. The guy that she wants to be with, she really doesn't want to be with. She realized that, and a lot of as dudes, we think like that. That whoever she's with after me is not going to compare, and sometimes that's the case. Sometimes, a lot of times, and for the ladies that's watching, women get married to guys that they really aren't really into, but due to their situation or convenience or the fact that a guy is willing to marry them, they will marry them. And in my opinion, you should never marry someone if you're attached, if you have an attachment to somebody else, or if you're desiring somebody else. That's, being disingenuous, and you're not being honest with yourself in the case like this. And it's just not a good deal when your heart belongs, not belongs, for lack of a better term, you really want to be with somebody else, but you're just going along to get along, as they say. And that's definitely not where you want to be at in life. So anyway, he goes up and he goes to be a wedding crasher at her wedding, and shows up, and you know in in uh in movie fashion, he opens the door, and she, figuratively lets him in, and she leaves with him and leaves her husband standing at the altar and rides off into the sunset with the top down, which is quite cliche. But this happened. So a few things I wanted to point out that I saw is that the door was shut. The door was, not locked, but the door was shut. He was banging on the door at first, and from what it showed us in the video, he was banging on the door because the door wasn't open. So the next thing you know, he's opening up the door, comes in, she sees him, she looks shocked, she looks at her husband to be, and this guy's singing, and she goes along with him. But as she's riding off in the car, she's all happy at first, and then you can kind of see her facial expression change. Like what did I just do? And realize that, whatever happens, this may be a momentary moment. It may be something happened momentarily, but she's willing to go for it. And I read the comments on the video, and people, and this young lady, she said something, pretty cool. The fact that we should look at relationships in life as that door being shut. And with that door being shut, it should never be opened again. But I don't necessarily agree with that. You know, it may appear that way, but people, as I say in my other videos, people change every day. Not to say that you may have been in a toxic relationship, you may not have been in a toxic relationship, but the heart wants what the heart wants at the end of the day. And people, you who are watching this video, you might have an attachment to someone that you just can't get over, and you just go through life wondering, and you go through life wondering, and you really want to talk to this person, but you are afraid of being rejected, which is that fear. And you end up dying not letting this person really know how you feel about them. Then again, on the flip side of things, you may be confessing your love left and right, and this person isn't responding. So at some point, for those of you people that this pertains to in the latter half, if you gave it your all, I think, and Erica Badu said this, if you gave it your all, you've done your best chasing someone, which I never recommend chasing anyone, because life's too short to be chasing someone that doesn't reciprocate. But for those of you who you tried over and over, and you got to the point where you humiliated yourself trying to get this person back, you'll evolve. And that, I remember Erica Badu saying that, and I think that's very important for you guys to know. For those of you who it's bothering you, it's like a splinter in your mind, and you can't stop thinking about this person, and you doing everything you can to get that person back, which I don't recommend. But if you must, in order to evolve, then I say definitely go for it until you get tired. Because eventually you will get tired. So I I don't recommend you going after, but if it'll bring you peace, which it will eventually, by you seeing that this person doesn't want to be with you, then by all means go for it. And then you realize your worth at that point. But all in all, this is that Tyrone effect that I've done a video I initially did early on in my YouTube career, for lack of a better term. And the Tyrone effect is basically where life, in my opinion, life is just a series of people chasing after other people that don't feel the same way that they feel about them. So, and that's just from my experience in life. I'm 38 years old. You will, you will want to be with somebody who wants to be with somebody else, and so on and so forth. It's just a never-ending circle. Many times, it's not all the time. Sometimes people do find their soulmate or twin flame, which I'll do videos on that. I've talked about it, but I'll get more, in depth on that. But people do discover they're one person who they're happy and content with. But with the Tyrone effect, as we see in this video, when you guys watch it, is that she was marrying this guy, but she really didn't want to be with this guy. And we can't say that it's not realistic, because it is realistic. A lot of the ladies were commenting in the comment section, but you would love for a guy to come and, try to break up your wedding and stuff like that. And because, and it's just the way it is. Women are vain. They're naturally vain. So for a man to come in and try to, stop your wedding and so on and so forth, you're talking about what you will and won't do. But women want to be wanted at the end of the day. So that's just my opinion on it. So I don't think it's that far stretched from the truth, but at the end of the day, I don't think someone's going to go through all this wedding planning to just up and leave. If you guys have read my one of my books, Puppeteering with Heartstrings, I actually talk about a situation where there was a woman in the book who slept with her baby daddy right before she got married. because that's who she really wanted to be with. But she married this beta male provider because he had money at the time. But she really wanted to be with her baby daddy, and that's just how it is sometimes. The heart wants what the heart wants. You can't deny that. You can't stop that. Regardless of how toxic it is, regardless of how it's not good for you. With that being, we can call it soul ties. With that being said, and sometimes you just have to learn, and maybe she's going to learn, as you see in this video. Maybe this young lady, or old lady, I don't know how old she is, but maybe she'll learn by going back to this guy. Maybe it's meant to be, maybe it's not meant to be. But a lot of times in life, when we get back with people, we soon discover why we broke up with them in the first place. Why that door, that proverbial door, was shut. But attachment is and I'll tell you straight up, and I've talked about this in other videos. Attachment is a hard thing to overcome. Very hard thing to overcome, and if unless you're strong-willed and you really have, you can call it love or an attachment, it's something that's hard to overcome till you realize that something isn't good for you, and you love yourself more than you love that person, or you love your peace and well-being more than you love that person. So that's my thoughts on the video, the Tyrone effect, toxicity, toxic relationships, going back into things, because it's a feeling. It's a feeling. It's living in the moment. It's that some people can only give you certain feelings. Some people can't give you that same feeling. And life is a feeling process. You know what I mean? So that's my thoughts on it, man. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. We'll probably be coming back at you later with another video. I just dropped another book. Want you guys to check it out. I'm gonna do a video about that. Check out my other channels as well. You can find a link in the description. You can check out my other channels, and I'm gonna be launching another channel also, so you guys check that out. If you guys got any topics you'd like me to discuss, or if you're seeking any advice, hit me up. The link is in the description. And with that being said, peace be upon you and the mercy and blessings of the Almighty, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. I'm out of here. Peace.